What's good, everybody? It's DSA Above the Rim. We back, man. We back to talk some basketball. See, y'all know we usually do the show on Saturdays, but Paul George and Kawhi Leonard made us do it today because they out here looking reckless. They out here looking stupid. The Pistons is talking a little bit of stuff, but we'll get into that later. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video. I got my boy Man Beast in with us for a sec. We'll have some other people in later on, man. What's good, Man Beast?
What's good, man? Just out here on the road on my way home. Shoot, I do want to talk about the Clippers real quick. So
No, man. Look, man. It's plenty, man. They didn't give you a whole docket, but we gonna start it off with Let's see, man. We got a couple people in the chat. Devin99 who thinks the Nuggets is gonna beat the Lakers. Good luck with that. We got Drew. We got Steven and Bar. We got Dolo in the building. What's good, y'all? Make sure you guys like the video. So this is what I want to start. How much does this loss damage Kawhi legacy? Go ahead, bro.
I honestly don't think it damaged his legacy that much. For the fact is, this man knocked out LeBron James in that super team in the NBA Finals. He knocked out the Golden State Warriors super team in the NBA Finals. Yeah, I know they didn't have Kevin Durant, and they had what's his face? You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, what, Clay?
Klay Thompson, yeah. I don't know why I had a brain fart, but
I mean, when he played for San Antonio, though, he was like the fourth best player on the team, right? Like him winning the Finals MVP would have been like Ben Wallace winning the Finals MVP for the Pistons. Like it wasn't like he was the best player because if you gave Ben Wallace MVP because of the defense he played on Shaq, nobody would have said nothing. But they gave it to Chauncey. So that's the way I feel about his MVP because you could have easily gave it to Tony Parker. So but that's interesting. No, man, this definitely damages legacy a lot. My man, hey man, dog, I never thought this would happen again, bro. Man, this man built a whole team and blew a 3-1 lead, and that's the problem right here. He blew a 3-1 lead. Now, if he had lost and it was a regular 7-game series, cool. But the man blew a 3-1 lead to a young Nuggets team in a bubble. Oh man, no, I'm sorry. This damages legacy a lot to me. He's still a top 5 player though, but now he's just in like a different tier. Like you know how we be thinking about Steph Curry and how we don't give him that credit because he don't got no Finals MVPs. He's in that tier type of guys like that. But he still has a Finals MVP. He beat an injured Golden State team, so. I mean, if KD's playing, they don't win. Everyone knows that. But we got Bravo in the building. What's good, Bravo?
What's going on, everyone? What's up, man, Beast?
What's up, though, Bravo?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Hey, man. So I'm gonna ask you this, man. Make sure you guys like the video as you coming in here. How much does this damage Kawhi's legacy?
This damaged Kawhi's legacy. I don't know how much really it damages Kawhi's legacy because Kawhi has been a champion already, like twice, and he's really good as a champion. I think he's it twice or 3 times. I forgot.
Twice.
Yeah, so he it's not gonna damage him, but I think what it happens is it damages his reputation by going to the Clippers because the Clippers is not a good team and they haven't won. They haven't reached the semifinal, and this definitely damages from that perspective. And it's a huge mistake for him leaving the Toronto Raptors. If he would have stayed on Toronto, he would definitely win this championship this year. I could see this, but
I don't know if they would have won, but they would have went back to the final.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a stupid thing from him. What he did is going to Los Angeles, and what even worse is he went with Los Chokers.
Hey man, speaking of choking, is this the biggest choke in NBA history? That's the because you got a Clippers team that was the favorites to win the chip, up 3-1 against a young Nuggets team, and you have Kawhi and Paul George combined for 24 points combined. Kawhi and Paul George didn't score a point in the fourth quarter. Kawhi had 14, Paul George had 10 in a closeout game, bro. So it's crazy, man. We gonna start with you, man. Beast. Is this the biggest choke in NBA history?
No, I seen worse.
It's been a lot of choking.
I seen worse. Oh, believe me. Everybody want to talk about the Clippers. What about the Thunder a few years ago? Or what about Well, the Clippers when they had Blake Griffin and Chris Paul. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like Doc Rivers teams in general always choke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I
like,
don't know
yeah,
what
that
it
team
is,
had
but
a 3-1 lead and they blew it. But Blake Griffin and Chris Paul, though, I think one series Blake got hurt and the other one Chris Paul got hurt. So when they lost their 3-1 lead, Blake Griffin was hurt.
that's
Like
been
they had a
the
fully
story though.
healthy Clippers team, man. But all right,
But
bro,
Doc
what you think about this?
What's up? He's focusing
No, what
on
you got to say
driving.
about Doc Rivers?
All I'm saying, Doc Rivers teams, he be choking like he did it since he was with the Celtics. His teams always choke. That's why they only had one championship under his belt. You know, he got only one championship because them other years that the Celtics was in the playoffs, they was choking to LeBron and all that stuff. So, yeah, man, that's all pretty much all I got to say. So, you got to blame the coach, too.
No doubt, no doubt. Bravo, what you think about this? Is this the biggest choke in NBA history?
Is it the biggest choke? No, I think there's a lot of chokes already in NBA. So, I mean, I can see. I don't remember exactly the top of my head, but even the Lakers when they first year got LeBron, that was a choke for me. They got Lonzo, they got Kuzma, they got like they got.
It's how's it a choke job when you get hurt?
I feel like that's still they couldn't even make the playoffs, man. That's a choke for me. That was the worst. So you can't just. But in terms of the playoffs, this is really considered choking because I guess it's a semifinal. They haven't reached the finals. I think the biggest choke for them this year also is part of it is PG-13. What is he doing? I mean, this guy is supposed to really prove himself.
We gonna get to him.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard picked him all the way from.
Okay, so I got
I have no
people in the chat, telling me, trying to make excuses for Kawhi and being the biggest choke job in NBA history. We'll get to why it is. But and you want to bring up Kobe Game 7. Kobe Game 7, he had 23 points. He didn't score 14 points. And he had 15 rebounds. And he was 11 to 15 from the free throw line. Kawhi Leonard didn't even get to the free throw line and had 14 measly points. So I think, like, Kobe, yeah, he struggled in that Game 7 against Boston, but my man still led his entire team in scoring that night. So I like his teammates definitely helped, but we're going to talk about that. So when I'm looking at it from this perspective, this is why it's the biggest show job. Who thought the Clippers wasn't going to the Western Conference Finals? Anybody?
It was a part
They
of me
were
that,
up 3-1. Bro, like, it ain't no, and they had double-digit leads in every game. One time it was a 15-point lead. One time it was a 19-point lead. Then another 10-point lead. And then they get blew out in the closeout game like scrubs. Say whatever you want about those other teams that crumbled. I don't remember them getting blown out in the closeout game like that. And I've never seen a superstar in Game 7 play that bad besides James Harden. And James Harden, like, and we know what it is about James. 14 points in the closeout game is pretty bad. But it's just hilarious to me, man. Because I told you, I said Clippers are not going to do anything. They're not going to do nothing. They're not going to win a championship. And I kept telling them it was because y'all had George Paul, aka Paul George. And as long as you got Paul George, aka George Paul, you're not going to win a championship, man. So, like, that's just the way I feel about it. You guys have to say, Bravo?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like Paul George is. I mean, he should have really helped Kawhi in this last game. What is he doing? He just started choking threes and missing threes wide open. And remember, he hit that corner three and he hit the side of the rim. He didn't even hit the rim.
The backboard.
What the hell yeah, exactly. Man, that means they are so bad. I feel like they are a really talented team. They could have made the finals, I think. But you look at them on paper, they're one of the best team right now. And even in the first round, they look like really good team. But even at the end of the season, but when playoff time, the big moment comes up, the pressure mounts up on them, and they can't just execute. And that's what happened to them. I felt like maybe because of Reggie Jackson was sitting on the bench, and he's like,
and see, that's the thing with me with the Clippers, and why I'm being so hard on them. they choked for real. And like you can see they wilted under the pressure. I see Devin 99 brought up the Warriors 3-1 lead. You know, the Warriors 3-1 lead, I think they just got beat. You know, you can bring up the Thunder, like, because Kevin Durant clearly choked. He literally was playing the worst games of his career and his playoff career. So when you thinking about it like that, it's a big deal. But you know, it is what it is. It's like, no, I just need all the Kawhi talk to stop, man. I mean, I heard he was better than LeBron and KD, and they say he was better than Steph, and I was like, I don't know. I'm not a Steph fan. You people know I don't like Steph Curry, but he's a good player though, and I think he's better than Kawhi. But Kawhi gets the credit because he got this thing called a Finals MVP, so it is what it is. But so, hey man, Beast, who was the most to blame for this loss?
You already know, choking ass. My bad. Choking, George Paul. You know, or they call him COVID-13 too.
So, no, they said one name called him way off peak.
COVID-13.
Hey man, no, they call him PG 13%.
He been choking in every series though. Just think about it. Not just this one, but every series they played in so far, he been choking. So that ain't no surprise to me. He was choking with the Thunder with Westbrook. He got blazed by Damian Lillard for the game-winning shot to send him home. Then he was choking his last couple years in Indiana. So yeah, he just been a choker that nobody talks about. Well, they talking about him now, but they should have been talked about him a few years ago being a choker. But that is me. But
well, so you know how big of a fan of Russ I am. So I watched him choke and Russ ball out and Russ get blamed. I kept telling y'all, I'm like, bro, PG playing like a scrub in these closeout games, dog. Like what is it? What are you supposed to do when PG is out here scoring? What, he had like 4 points in the closeout game. Russ had 45 points. Well, you mad at him? Like, but they were though. and I told people, it let me know the moment everything happened with Westbrook. I'm like, PG is not it. He cannot be a second option because he's always gonna choke under the pressure, no matter what. He gonna choke. Like, it is what it is. And James Harden can't be the best player on the team because he's gonna choke. So that's why they need to figure out some things. But we got CA3 in the building. What's good, man?
What's going on, man?
What's up, CA?
This is so funny to me, man. Because literally, like, the top two reasons, like, I said the Clippers weren't gonna win, like, before the season started, it happened. I literally said the Clippers weren't gonna win because they had Paul George. And number two, and then the second reason I said they weren't gonna win because they have no low post bid they have no low post force. They got you got Montrezl Harrell, you know. Montrezl Harrell, he's only 6'7", man. He ain't gonna stop none of them elite bigs. And then you got Zubac, but Zubac, you don't want him to be your best low post threat. So, you know, that's why I always thought the Clippers weren't gonna win, just because of that. And I said, and what happened was, again, that Denver series was that they couldn't. It was hard that they couldn't guard Jokic because they had nobody that could stop him. Like, if that's the Lakers, it's a different story because the Lakers got a bunch of bigs they can put on Jokic, but the Clippers ain't really have a big to put on Jokic, so it was a tough matchup for them, and they got exposed.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna need y'all to put some respect on Kobe Bryant name, man. Y'all out here trying to trash this man's name when Kawhi lost Game 7 and he led his team in scoring. I don't care if he took 30 shots to get 23. I don't care if they all was free throws. He led his team in scoring and they won. If Kobe plays any better, they just blow them out by more. Am I correct? So what we talking about, man? Come on. Kawhi definitely was terrible. The man had 14 points. 0 points in the fourth quarter.
But we talking about Kobe, the GOAT. What is this?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I don't understand why y'all talking about Kobe. Like, then on first take you got Max trying to compare the 2006 Lakers to the 2020 Clippers. Like, that's a horrible comparison, man.
No, man,
it's not the same thing
because they got hurt, man. When you get injured, like, I can't call injuries a choke job. You know, like, I just can't. And when you get in that Laker team with not that one you talking about, but the one you talking about Dwight Howard and Steve Nash.
No, I'm talking about the 2006 Clippers. 2006 Lakers where they blew a 3-1 lead to the Suns. It's different.
Oh, but no, that's because Kobe did that on purpose. y'all wanted him to pass the ball, so he went out and got a bunch of assists because they kept on saying he was a ball hog, and they lost the series because of it. So it was an actual reason why. And it was documented, and Kobe said it like, "Oh, okay, y'all don't want me to shoot no more. Watch me lose this series." That's basically what he was saying, and that's what happened. So you can't compare that, though. Max Kellerman is an idiot. The man said Kawhi Leonard was more clutch than Kobe. You idiot.
Nah, come on now. Hold on now. This dude is a fool, yeah.
Man, though, I like one thing I agree with Stephen A. Max shouldn't be allowed to talk basketball. Like, like the stuff he be saying, he just be going way out of bounds or way over proportions. But all right, man, Beast. Now that this series is over, and you said Paul George deserves the most blame. Let's see. I think Kawhi deserves the most blame because this is all Kawhi's team. You should have just stayed with the Raptors. You would be in the finals right now. But I want to ask you. So this Lakers-Denver series, man. What do you think about it? What do you think is gonna happen?
I think the Lakers might come out hot, and then the Nuggets. I expect at least go 6. Like just because they got a lot of shooters, they got fresher legs than the Lakers. They got the Lakers. They got more old people on the team, a lot of 30-year-olds. So chasing them young boys around gonna be a task right there. Yeah. And Jokic, I think he's gonna take advantage of Anthony Davis, in my opinion, because of his size. But even though Anthony Davis was 6'10", 6'11", but Jokic is bigger than him, so especially in the paint. I think he's gonna go 6 though. The Nuggets gonna give him a problem. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Now next year the Nuggets can go to the finals, but this year they gonna come close, but they ain't gonna come close enough.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there about the Nuggets maybe winning next year because they got my boy MPJ. I know MPJ on social media is just a terrible person. He says all these horrible things that piss people off, but on that damn court, he busting your ass. And they need Michael Porter to be I think he could be the best player on the team, honestly. But they just need him to be that third star. Once Michael Porter gets to where he needs to be, it's basically a wrap. And I already told y'all once they got Bo, they was winning the champ. If they keep Bo, they definitely winning the championship because Bo is too nice. They tell you they gonna have a starting 5 it's gonna be Jokic, Bo, Michael Porter is power forward, Bo is small forward, and it's gonna be Jamal Murray and Gary Harris. that boy.
Championship lineup right there, bro.
Bro, you gonna have 2 7-footers in the lineup, but both of them got guard skills. Like that's just crazy, bro. And they both can shoot the 3 ball. It's just like so. I'm with you on that. Benjamin Foe says trade Michael Porter Jr. to the Pistons. Hell yeah,
in our dreams.
I'll trade everybody on the Pistons for him.
No, anybody for Michael Porter. Anybody. But all right, Carl, what do you think about this, man? This Nuggets Lakers series, man.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that I agree with you that this series it's all on the last series, the Clippers series, it was all on Kawhi because if you're the best player and you created this team, you told the Clippers to get Paul George for you, and you had all these role players around you. You had 2 6-man of the year candidates. There's no excuses, so it's definitely on Kawhi Leonard. But on to this series, yeah, I think the Nuggets will take a couple games off the Lakers just due to the fact that they got young legs, man. They got young fresh legs, and I feel like and Jamal Murray and Jokic, they're bound to go off a couple games. So I feel like they're gonna get a couple games off the Lakers, man. But I still think the Lakers, that their veteran leadership is gonna be different in this series, and LeBron James and Anthony Davis is gonna be different in this series. Just due to them being more experienced because the Nuggets, their core is so young. It's going to be hard for them to get to the finals at this point in time. But I think they're going to win a championship in a few years down the line, because especially if once Michael Porter reaches his potential, it's over with, bro. Like this team is too much. It's and at first, I didn't expect too much out of this Denver team because I didn't, based off of what I saw Jamal Murray doing the moment last year, I didn't think he was going to turn around this quick, but I got to put respect on his name because he turned around, man, and he's starting to up his production in the playoffs, and I really respect that. No matter how you feel about him, I know Damon don't like him, but I had to put respect on his name.
I mean, I definitely don't like him, but I can't deny his talent.
He dropped 40 in the closeout game.
Man, he dropped 40 because the Clippers are some bitches. That's why. Like Stephen A was saying, I don't care if Kawhi have a bad game. Why don't you guarding Jamal Murray and keeping him from busting your ass and dropping 40 against Utah? Just like you said, against Utah, he didn't drop 40. The Clippers is some. That's what they are. We all were, bro. They folded, bro. I can't believe y'all say y'all a team of dogs, but y'all folded like a bunch of puppies, bro. Like we're a team of dogs. We're a team of dogs. Like all that talking, and you lost,
bro. Y'all need to stop overrating Pat Beverly's defense, bro. I told you,
for real. He's not that good of a defender.
He be getting 40s cracked open on him like so often.
Bruce Brown a better defender than Pat Bev. You heard me say it. Now what?
Right now, maybe it's right. Maybe that you're right. Right now,
Pat Bev ain't that good of a defender, bro. He's the irritant, bro. He's not a defender, bro.
Dude, right. That's exactly what he is. Like irritant.
Exactly.
Like he ain't doing nothing out there. And like Dot definitely deserves a lot of blame because he's blowing 3-1 leads. And everybody, make sure you guys like the video if you haven't already. He's blowing 3-1 leads like left and right like it's nothing. So like that must be his favorite thing to do. But back to the Nuggets and the Lakers. Bravo. What are your thoughts on the Nuggets versus the Lakers?
It's gonna be probably the Lakers. You know, I'm gonna stop counting out the Denver because I don't really right now look at them on paper again. Before the series starts, Lakers should make the finals, and I could see the Lakers winning in 5 also, like not even 5 or 6. But if the game reaches to 7, hey, it goes crazy again, just like the last 2 series. You can see the Denver Nuggets winning the series if they goes to 7, maybe.
No, if it goes to 7, the Lakers are definitely winning.
So I don't know, man. It's a problem with this.
LeBron in Game 7 is never lost.
We keep like counting them out.
So until that happens, I'm going LeBron.
It's this series, especially the Denver Nuggets versus the Lakers. I think the Lakers match up very well against them. They're big and strong. They got like AD can guard Jokic, and they got also another center, JaVale McGee or Dwight Howard. They got also like good perimeter defense. The only problem I can see for Denver is more Michael Porter Jr. He can create a lot of troubles for the Lakers because they don't have. I don't know who's going to defend Michael Porter Jr. because the other problem is LeBron. Who's going to defend LeBron for the Denver? So some of the things I cannot see really Denver matching or defending LeBron very well, but I don't honestly know what's going to happen, but I think it's going to be in 5 for the Lakers or 6 for the Lakers. If it goes to 7, hey, don't count the Clipper.
If it's going to 7, I'm picking the Lakers.
I'd love to see the Denver Nuggets.
Nuggets got a couple bodies to put on LeBron James, but it's not going to be. I mean,
Jeremy Grant.
I think Jeremy Grant's a good defender personally.
Yeah.
You heard that? They said Jeremy Grant gonna guard LeBron.
Bro.
I'm not saying he's gonna do nothing.
Hey, bro, if Robert Covington can't guard LeBron, Jeremy Grant ain't doing shit. And Robert Covington is a phenomenal defender. PJ Tucker can't guard LeBron, but Jeremy Grant gonna give him some. You better get, boy. Who the other guy? You better say Paul Millsap.
Sorry, Craig.
We see what Jeremy Grant did to Kawhi though. He locked up.
That's Kawhi. That's not LeBron.
Okay.
So I think Torrey Craig can defend. I don't know who's going to defend LeBron, really.
They want to win.
Hey, we gonna get into it. But I want to ask you
LeBron. That's what I'm saying. Nobody can defend LeBron, bro.
Well, no, you can defend. It's players that can defend LeBron, but they're not on this team. I think Marcus Smart can defend LeBron.
I'll double team,
but he's on a different team. But it's a few players that can defend him, but it ain't nobody. None of the players are on the Nuggets, bro. So anyway, man, I was gonna ask you: does the loss, that 3-1 lead, does it say more about the Nuggets or the Clippers?
That's tough. That's tough because Doc Rivers he been choking a lot. So, but I say that's more about this Nuggets thing because remember last year they got destroyed by the Blazers, and I could see them frustrated and stuff like that in the second round. And the Lakers, they played the Blazers this year, and they basically mollywopped them, basically. So, and I felt like the Blazers were overrated last year. So, yeah, the Nuggets, I think they just got better. they got better and the Clippers choked. I think it's both, honestly.
Okay. What about you, CA3?
Man, that's tough though because I feel like both teams showed a lot. Well, I'm just bringing up both teams on what they showed to me. The Clippers showed to me exactly what I thought they were before the season. That they were just a team that looked really good on paper, but that they weren't going to win the championship. Due to the reasons I already mentioned. But yeah, but I mean the Clippers, man, that's such a disappointment, bro. Y'all wasted your whole future just to bring a championship, and y'all didn't even get out of the second round, man. That's just sad, bro. So on to the Nuggets, they show that they're a tough young team, man. That they got a large future, man, ahead. Like if every young piece comes together, like MPJ, man, that they're gonna be a problem. And I think Jamal Murray could get a little better as well. That team gonna be a problem, man. Like they're not even at their peak yet, and they're already beating teams like the Clippers and veteran teams like the Clippers, man. That's impressive to me. But
the Clippers didn't have no continuity at all. So they and that was another one of their problems. But I think this definitely says much more about the Clippers because you had a 3-1 lead and then you had double-digit leads, like a 19-point lead, and you lose, bro, in the playoffs. Like it says way more about the Clippers. The Nuggets are a nice little team, but they were down 3-1, and then they were down 15 points plus in every game. So obviously they had to overcome something. And I just feel like with the Clippers, man, like Kawhi Leonard's supposed to be a top 5 player. Like I know people are out on Giannis, but I'm like, as bad as Paul George is, I just feel like if you put Giannis on that team, they don't lose to Denver. I could be wrong. Who knows? I feel like you put AD on that team, they don't lose to Denver. It's just like Kawhi. I love Kawhi, and he's a baller. Like the dude is special. But I just I don't know what happened to him in those last 3 games. To be honest, he really don't have no excuse for not playing good.
I mean, see the biggest problem with Kawhi. I'm gonna say the biggest problem with Kawhi. See Kawhi. He's never been in the position where he's had to lead a team, like be the vote. I'm not what I mean. Like what I mean by lead, I mean like be the vocal leader. Like he's always been. He's been the best player on teams, but he's never been the vocal leader on teams. If you look at the Spurs, he wasn't a leader on the Spurs. If you look at the Raptors, he wasn't even a leader on the Raptors. Kyle Lowry was the leader of that team. But now,
man, and I don't want to bring KD into this, but we got to stop putting these guys over Bron. These non-leader guys that we don't scrutinize. Whether you hate them or love them, you can say you hate Bron. I can care less. I don't hate or love Bron. I'm not a fan. I can care less. But regardless, man, like KD and Kawhi, these guys is not leaders, man. And when they got to do it, we'll see what KD does now that he's supposed to be the leader of a team. So we'll see what happened. And when he was a leader before with Westbrook, he blew a 3-1 lead just like Kawhi did. Like it's kind of funny how it lines up. But Bravo,
I don't even know who the leader on the Clippers is personally. I didn't know who it was, bro.
The leader on the Clippers is Patrick Beverly.
Okay. Shit.
I mean, sadly, yeah. Who else would it be? That barking dog. But Bravo, man. Does it say more about the Nuggets or the Clippers?
I think it says both about both teams. The Nuggets are a really scrub team. They played really well. The last series they just made it through the teams, and they really beat the team successfully. And I think they really deserve it. They really beat a good team, the Utah Jazz in the first series, the second series, the Clippers, and now the Lakers. The thing is, I will take it more with the Clippers than the Denver Nuggets because of the fact the Clippers, Los Angeles Clippers, are the Los Angeles chokers. You cannot have this amazing talent in your team and damn lose. You can't. Don't tell me. Don't convince me. I'm going crazy. You got Lou Williams, the 6th man of the year, X 3 times. You got the 6th man of the year, and the Harrell. You got all these players. You got Marcus Morris, amazing scorer, ISO player, and you still lose. Come on, man. You can't do this. You cannot do this. And as a team, there's 2 teams in this playoffs I blame thoroughly, really badly. The Bucks. They should not lose to the Heat by any means. And this is the second team, the Clippers. This is a huge joke for me. They could not really lose to the Denver Nuggets. They don't even have only one all-star on their team, or like Murray is like a borderline all-star. The team, it says a lot about them, and I don't understand, where is Lou Williams? Lou Williams, we've been looking at him. Oh, he is one of the 6 man of the year.
Yeah,
he's gone.
He's
gone. So the whole team choked, and I think it starts with Kawhi and PG-13 definitely. But I think
Mundo, we got Mundo in the building. Make sure you guys like the video if you haven't. Share it to all the people. So retweet it, man. So let everybody know, man. He said, "Sup, y'all? I'm here. I'm eating crow with rice. It is official. The Clippers are the Detroit Lions of the NBA. Just like my Detroit Lions, I will never believe in the Clippers again." And yeah, man, the Clippers are cursed, man. And it's sad they never been to a conference finals, man. It's sad. But back to the Lakers before we move on to some Pistons talk. Back to the Lakers, man. I wanted to say that, man, look, I like Denver. They a nice little team, but they not ready for the Lakers. And I don't think they know what they get themselves into. This is a juggernaut coming through. Like, people like to talk a lot of smack about Harden and Westbrook because they lost to the Lakers, but I didn't expect them to lose that badly. Like, the Lakers just crushed that team. And that's a good team. I don't care what you want to think. The Rockets are not a team that you just, even people like, if they had CP3, they would have got crushed. Like, what CP3 gonna stop them? They would have got crushed in insane fashion. So I don't want to hear that, because anyway, I feel like the Lakers are a problem. The Lakers in 6 games. If the Nuggets win game 1, I think it'll go 6. But if they don't win game 1, I think it's going 5, and they better win game 1 or they could get swept. I feel like this is just like when the Blazers barely beat the Nuggets when they shouldn't have, and the Nuggets were the better team. And even though they were the lower seed, I think, or they were the higher seed. They were the 2nd seed. Yeah, the Nuggets were the better team. The Blazers somehow got past them, went up against the Warriors and got waxed. And I think the same thing is going to happen. I love the Nuggets. I think they definitely will win a championship in the future. But and they're a nice team, but going against the Lakers is a different animal, man. So I think 5 games or 6 games. Like, going against, who is guarding LeBron James? Once you can answer that question, then we can talk about the series. I think, you could put Bam on LeBron James, but that's a different team. Like I said, those 2 teams in the East, they got people that I know you could put on Brown to bother him. But and I guess you could say Marcus Morris was apparently some LeBron stopper with Boston for 1 game, but
hell no.
I just don't think. I think the Lakers, man. I told you they beat the Rockets, they gonna win the chip, and they whooped the Rockets' ass. They ain't just beat them; they whooped their ass. So Denver in trouble. Like I said, I remember Randy said they gonna start off hot. You can't fall down 2-0. Nuggets gotta win game 1, or it's gonna be a problem for them. That's how I really feel.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it goes 6 though, at least. I'm gonna say that. It's just they got too much talent just to get swept. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it'll go 6 though, because I just think Jamal Murray, he gonna have his way a couple games, just because I don't like the Lakers guard play. I mean, if the Lakers had,
that's why I'll give them 1.
If the Lakers had Avery Bradley, it'll be over in 4 or 5 games, bro.
That's why I'll definitely get them game 1 for sure. They might win game 1. Like, you got to win game 1 because you need to get ahead of that 8 ball. Because once LeBron start turning up, what you gonna do?
Nothing.
So we'll see. I did want to ask, because this pissed me off so much, and I'm sure y'all agree, but people want to overrate Bam Adebayo, just like Magic Johnson. He wants to say this reckless stuff, but is that block by Bam on Jason Tatum the greatest defensive play that you ever seen in playoff history? Hell no. But let's go around the table, man. Beast.
We already know what's the greatest defensive play in NBA history, and in the playoffs in the way. We already know.
You mentioned way more.
I'm about to say, let them know.
You mentioned a bunch of plays that were better than that play, bro. Like, I can name a few plays on top of my head.
Yeah, let them know, man, Beast.
That right there. Or what about the LeBron block? That was better. It's several plays. More than that, though.
Tayshaun Prince has the greatest block in NBA history.
Yeah.
Maybe the greatest defensive play.
Tayshaun Prince definitely owns the greatest block title in NBA playoff history, bro. Like there was no way Tayshaun was supposed to catch to Reggie Miller, bro. Reggie Miller was on the way other half of the court. Like, bro, it was no way.
No, and I was watching the video. If you watch the video, man, Tayshaun was sprinting like he was sprinting with like his life on the line. and he just
I don't know how he like Reggie Miller was at the rim and he was at half court and somehow he just blocked the shot. Like, how did that happen?
Nah, man, that's that speed and wingspan. No, and I definitely think LeBron block is better because that was in the finals.
I can have a couple of LeBron blocks that are better than that, bro.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. I just feel like, but let's stop here for a second because I remember Miami was talking about maybe letting him go, and I was saying that was crazy. But what's your take on Bam Adebayo, man? Because what do y'all think about Bam as a player?
I don't think know much of him right now. I mean, I ain't see too much of him, but yeah, he's okay. But I'm just saying, like, these people overrating it like Magic Johnson. Well, Magic Johnson the hater of the Pistons anyway because we own that ass anyway. So, yeah. That's why
so I've been, man, people telling me he about to be a superstar. I'm like, slow your roll, but I don't know. I'm starting to buy a little bit of his stock, man, because that block on Tatum was inhuman. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, he's the modern day Ben Wallace with a little bit more skill because it's a new game. But that block was some stuff. But we've seen Ben Wallace have better blocks. But in that moment, though, the game was on the line, literally.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, he's a very. I mean, he's probably to me like a top 3 or 4 defensive player in the league right now.
Definitely.
But what's your take on Bam? Bravo.
I think that block has got to be in the top 10 of NBA history because it came in the right time, right moment, the extra time, overtime, and the last, the bucket that could have equalized the game, and it comes from a good player against like Jason Tatum. I feel like Jason Tatum was dumb. He should have taken a shot instead of going to a rim with a shot blocker, anyways. But that was one of the top 10 in NBA history, maybe so far, because the moment and the time that makes a lot of difference. As far as Bam Adebayo, man, I've started to liking him. I wasn't really a great fan of centers anymore in the NBA because centers don't really matter unless they can shoot or they can play or they can really super blockers. But he has a lot of characters. He's a shot blocker. He can move right. He can pass the ball, and he also can really shoot the ball in the mid-range jumpers. I was surprised with him in the Bucks game series. He really shot the ball from the just around the paint really very well, effectively. He made shots just like a regular guard play. So I'm surprised by the way he taking the shots, and that really impressed me the most about him. Really taking the mid-range jumper successfully, and he can shoot. He can shoot, and he can play make. So what else do you want in a player? I think he's one of the best centers right now in this NBA right now. He is still underrated, but if he's really asking me a superstar, no, not a superstar, but he's a defensive candidate of the year for sure, and definitely he can be an NBA finalist, MVP, one of the MVP finalists for the.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like when I say I'm starting to buy, because like. Man, because I'm with you. I'm like, bro, if y'all don't stop overrating this dude, but like when I take a step back and I just watch him, like if you get a chance to watch when Miami play, I don't know. I think he can be the best player on the championship team someday. Mm-hmm. Like he just got he's this good defensively. Like Bravo said, he can shoot a mid range. He can finish at the rim. He averages 6 assists a game. Like the dude he can dribble. He's great. I'm like, if this dude happens to get better offensively, why wouldn't he be the best player on the championship team? I don't know if he'll but like if he becomes a better scorer, it's a wrap. So I like him. But I want to move on to the Pistons because
and just to take a quick didn't mean to interrupt, but speaking of Bam Adebayo, the equivalent to him is a new Onyeka Okongwu, and everybody's talking about that.
Nah, man, chill out, man.
I like Okongwu, man.
Let's see. I was gonna go to a different Pistons topic, but we gonna go to that since you want to bring up Okongwu. Okay, there's been reports that the Pistons are very high on Okongwu at 7, but also they are extremely willing to trade up in the draft to get a better prospect. Now, my question to you guys is, what do you think about the Pistons being very high on Conwoo to where they're going to draft a guy that's a center? And then what do you think about them like being high and willing to trade up? So like, man, Beast, man, you know anything about Okonwu?
I heard he defensively. I seen some of this film, and the Pistons they need a big man. So yeah, if they draft him, I won't be mad.
So you don't mind them getting rid of Drummond and drafting some new kid?
No, I mean Drummond. He was very limited offensively. This guy's he got more offensive game than Drummond though. So yeah, I don't mind taking him because the NBA nowadays is about offense anyway. So why not?
He's not offensive as much as Drummond. He's more defensive as Drummond.
Well, yeah. Well, he could shoot better.
No, he probably talking about when Drummond was coming out of college though.
Oh
yeah, that's
Onika is probably Onika is definitely better offensively coming out of college. But all right, bro. No, we had to teach Drummond how to do everything offensively. He would just get rebound. But Bravo, what's your thoughts on this? The Pistons seem extremely high on Okonwu, and when you think about Troy Weaver and how he drafts all of these athletic people, like Troy Weaver Okonwu is an athletic freak, and I mean, didn't he go to Chino Hills with my boy Zoe? So I mean, the dude is a beast already. Like, so you,
yeah,
y'all know how I am, man. So when I'm thinking about it like that, maybe he's the guy that no one's talking about, and he's a beast at center. But I don't know if I want a center. I really need a point guard. No matter what, I need a point guard. I need a point guard. Like, that's just the way I feel about it. But we'll see. But make sure you like the video, guys, if you haven't already. But Bravo, man, what do you think about the Pistons willing to trade up and being very interested in Onyeka Okongwu?
Well, trade up and get Melo, not get Okonwu.
That's two separate things.
I mean, definitely trade up, get Melo if we can. I don't think we should trade up and get Edwards, but Melo definitely for sure. The two top prospects I want in this draft is Melo. If not Melo, then Killian Hayes. These are the two I think we definitely need to draft in here. If we miss on those two, somebody picks them up ahead of us. I mean, I don't mind Okonwu at all. I think Okonwu may be the third right now on my rank after seeing him and after seeing Bam Adebayo in the playoffs right now. I think Okonwu is just like he is the soulmate. I heard he's a friend, really good friend with Bam Adebayo. They're the same school. I believe they train together and they're the same kind of body build. So I see a lot of similarities with Bam, and I think he's going to be a really good player. You know, he is probably going to be a better player than Halliburton. I could see him also even better than Denny Avdia. I like Denny, but Bam Okonwu has something in him. He switches quickly. He can block, and he can really guard the perimeter. James Wiseman cannot guard the perimeter. If you just do left, right, crossover, James Wiseman is gone. I'm telling you, you cannot even see him anymore. I'm telling you, Okonwu, he's going to stick with you all the way. He's one of those fierce competitors.
Well, listen, I mean, yeah, man. If Bam Adebayo is an archetype, for a player, and you look at Okonwu, because Bam Adebayo coming out of college, what was he offensively? Nothing. He was nothing. He was just talent. The same way we look at Jonathan Isaacs and Mo Bambas and stuff, just talent, but they haven't developed like Bam because Miami is an amazing organization and they know how to develop players. So if you're looking at Okonwu from the standpoint that I'm going to draft him because he's athletic, he's great defensively, and we're going to turn him into a good player, now you're looking at a Stanley Johnson situation. And if it don't work out, you're going to look like an idiot for passing up on Devin Booker, a.k.a. probably Cole Anthony or Killian Hayes. And then we're going to end up with another Stanley Wanley Johnson. And I swear, like, everything you say about Okonwu, you could have said about Stanley. And I know he's a center and Stanley was a wing. I don't care. I want to get the point guard, the short thing, the guy that's going to elevate our team. Right now, point guards and wings run this league.
Yeah.
Jokic. Or look, you got to be a point guard and a wing to run this league, or you have to play like a point guard or a wing. Jokic is a center, but he plays like a point guard. He can see LeBron is power forward, but he plays like a point guard. So he plays. it's positionless. Bam plays like a center, but sometimes they have him at the top of the key running the offense on like a wing. Like it's just because he led that team in assists, him and Jimmy Butler. So when I'm looking at it from that perspective, I don't know if I want Oneka, and I don't like the Pistons being high on him when I really need Cole Anthony. That's the guy I need. I need my man Cole Anthony. Trade up for LaMelo. Y'all already know that you know what I'm saying? But what's good, Dr. Detroit? Make sure you guys like the video on your way in. This will be a shorter video, so if you guys got some questions, make sure you drop them. But all right, CA3, man, what do you think about oh man, Beats, what do you think about trading up to get LaMelo?
Dang, it just disconnected or something.
Oh, okay. No, I hear you. You heard me?
I ain't hearing nothing you said.
No, I said, what do you think about them trading up to get LaMelo?
I wouldn't mind it, even though his shooting is very sketchy to me. But I wouldn't mind it. We need a point guard now, right now. Our point guard situation. Well, we never develop our point guard, so we don't know what we got right now as is. So.
Well, see, but what you say is why I feel like, yeah, you got to develop play, but what you say is why I need a guy like Melo, because yes, he has some development because he got to change his shot, but he already has so much game on his own that, you know what I'm saying, you already had it occur. Like Ja Morant, hell yeah, he gotta develop, but the dude's already good. Like he can't shoot either. He's not a shooter. So that's what it is with like LaMelo and Killian. But CA3, man, what's your thoughts on Okongwu and the Pistons being very high on him to the point that they might select him, and the fact that they also are heavily considering trading up? Like these are the recent reports, and this is what Wayne Casey has recently been talking about in the interviews. And the Pistons training camp is starting too, and they just released a roster of the players that is going to be out there too. But all right, CA3, what you think about this,
man? Well, here's my thing on this situation. You know, I think Okongwu was a good player. You know, he's a very solid player, but I just don't. It's not somebody I want on my team. Just you know, due to the fact, you know, that the Pistons, you know, they've been going in the wrong direction for a long time. You know, that they got Andre Drummond, who was a good player, but you know, he just wasn't a player that we needed, man, to get to that next level. I don't think we should go center to try to get to that next level, like, because we already made that mistake. Why try to make the same mistake again? Like, we need to change directions, man, and look for a guard to lead our team instead of a center to lead our team, man. Because nowadays, you know, centers, you know, there's not as much emphasis on centers, you know. Now you got to be led by a guard or, you know, a dominant wing. Nowadays, you know, it's not about you're not usually led by a center nowadays, unless you're Jokic, you know, who's a dominant offensive player who basically is a guard, but just a big man. He basically a guard in a big man's body. So that's really that's kind of like the only exception to this. But you know, like you can't be led by a big anymore, man, in the modern NBA, and that's why we had to go guard, bro, or get a dominant wing, but we don't. But guard is more important for us because we really have a hole at the point guard position. So I don't see why you would go in a way that it hasn't worked before by taking the center and as your first pick.
All right, so people in the chat kind of grilling me a bit about how I used to go in on Cole Anthony. Yeah, man, but you don't know, but I used to hold Cole Anthony like every show, say he was garbage and he was trash. Because, bro, he looked like a James Harden type player. And what I mean is like a volume scorer that needs a lot of shots to do what he does. You know, of course, Harden is the best ever at it. But you know what I'm saying? You know, a guy that's not going to have a good field goal percentage. But what I thought about is, yeah, that's if he went to the Knicks, though. If he comes to the Pistons and Dwayne Casey coaches him up, he could be a great player. And I just had to look at his skill set. He has great handles. He can finish at the rim. He has an in-between game. He has to work on his jump shot. He's not a good defender and isn't the best passer, but he's a really good scorer. And I'll take him and I'll try to develop him because, like I said, you know, a guy like Westbrook, he didn't come into the league as a point guard. He came into the league as a shooting guard that was a defensive player. He had to learn how to play point guard. James Harden had to learn how to be a point guard, the point guard that he is. He's a point guard, shooting guard. They had to learn these things, and Cole can learn the same things. So, yeah, I changed my mind. I would love for the Pistons to have him. I was going in. I was calling him garbage every show. I wasn't letting up on how trash he was, and I retract all of that, man. I think Cole, he's a big boomer bust, but he'll be nice. But I just don't need no Onyeka Okongwu, bro. You know what I mean? Make sure you guys drop your questions in the chat. So it's another thing that I want to talk about with the Pistons. So, like I said, Dwayne Casey has had this new interview, and I've been debating with these guys whether we want to rebuild or retool. So yeah, and I've been saying we need to retool because ain't no point in rebuilding and tearing everything down when you got young players that can be competitive and you still got Blake Griffin on the team. So we're going to start with you, Bravo. Thoughts on Dwayne Casey saying and reiterating that, like, we are not in rebuild mode. We in retool mode. Basically mean borderline competitive mode. We're going to see how much a jump that these young guys take. Because I know the Pistons fans are so pessimistic. But, like, yo, Luke Kennard's a baller. What if he takes a huge jump? Look at Svi Mykhailiuk. What if he takes a huge jump? Look at Bruce Brown. What if he takes a huge jump? Sekou. What if all of our young players come back much better than what they were? And then you still have Blake Griffin, and he playing 60 games. You still have Derrick Rose on the team. And then you can fill out the rest of the roster. We actually could be a competitive team. Because I look at teams like Indiana, like, what the hell they got over there? Nothing. Why can't we be like them and just be one of those teams that can be competitive? So, and we still got the draft picks where we at, and we can still, add to this team. But, Bravo, we're going to start with you, man. Thoughts on Dwayne Casey saying it's not a rebuild, but a retool?
I'm okay with what he said, but I don't really like it, frankly, because I'm more of a rebuild guy. I like to see my team starting young and pick up the drafts and get the players from the draft to build. I like the players. I like the drafts. I like rookies. So this is what I've been looking. I like scouting. So if my opinion, I think we should replace the big contracts we have, like D Rose is one of the best players we have, Blake Griffin, with picks if possible. I don't know if it's possible, but I would consider switching those kind of players with picks because we can't just really be relevant like with this team right away. I don't expect us to make the playoffs in a year or two. I mean, it'll be surprising if we do, really. I don't know. I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised.
There's a lot of things going on, really. Next year, you got the Brooklyn Nets, one of the best teams with KD and Kyrie. You got also, I mean, the only team maybe we can make is the 8th or the 7th team. What does that do to us? So
it gives you experience. Look at Denver.
I don't know, man. So Denver really look.
Denver got waxed in the first round too. Like you need experience.
JMO, let me tell you something. Denver are a really very stable organization for the past 5, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. First of all. Number two, they have a really nice coach. He's been really sitting there for a while. He's building a culture. 5 years started when he started about 5 years ago. Thirdly, a very important thing in the Denver Nuggets, you were underestimating them. They know how to draft very well. They drafted really excellent players so far. Look at Jamal Murray. Look at the trades they make. We didn't even make a good trade the past few seasons. So we need some time. We need some time to develop. We need rookies to really need picks to really make our team better. I think we need another couple of years of being bad to become more relevant, in my opinion. I don't mind against like going to the playoffs, trying to compete, but I think we need more players. So next year, we'll look at the draft, one of the best draft next year. If we land a top 10 pick next year and the following pick, we could be looking at a nice team after 2 years. But if you're really trying to compete right now, what they're trying to say, I agree with Piston Talk when he said in the group chat that he mentioned something about Gora's influence on the team, trying to really win and make the playoffs in a bad way, trying to get bad trades. I would be pissed off if we trade one of the best players we have, like the young players like Svi or Bruce Brown, ended up getting a guy like an average player. I would be pissed. Or maybe going for a guy like a Oladipo, who's like on his close to his 30. He's 29. he's close to his. I mean, we can see something like that hurt the team. And I don't like.
You wouldn't want Oladipo,
huh?
You wouldn't want Oladipo.
I wouldn't want Oladipo in exchange for Luke Kennard or maybe Svi Mykhailiuk right away. I would rather wait a couple of years to see what they impact at. I mean, Oladipo is really a good player. He's an all-star for sure. But if you switch him with a couple of players like Bruce Brown and Kennard, hey, Indiana will be more beneficial than us. I'm telling you. I mean, Oladipo is leaving the Indiana in a couple of years. He might go anywhere. He might go to Miami Heat. What are we doing with kind of players like that? I like him, but he might not fit our timeline. We got to be smart with picking up the players and the picks. That's why I say I'm happy that we have Troy Weaver, because he know how to rebuild. He know how to draft. I have faith in the organization right now. It's not like the Lions. I don't have faith at all in them. So let's hope.
You had to bring them up, but I mean that's because they had coaches trash. But Dolo Dynamite says trade for Oubre. I don't think Phoenix is letting go of Kelly Oubre, but if they are, you open up the bag. But all right, man, Beast, man. Looks like you munching on something, making me hungry over here.
That's why I'm not on camera.
Man, what's your thoughts on Casey talking about this is a rebuild and like not a retool? Basically, they're trying to still be competitive and not just blow everything up.
Man, we've been retooling for like how long now? Like we've been retooling for over a decade, so I'd rather rebuild. Because look, we got Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose, but do you want to just be an AC or you want to actually go for higher? I'm tired of being AC, barely making the playoffs. No, we need to rebuild. We need to get younger guys. Blake Griffin, especially Blake Griffin. I think he got one good year left in him at best, because them knees just don't hold up. Derrick Rose, I can see him playing a little longer and being more productive than Blake Griffin in the long haul, because
I agree with that.
He changed his style of play, so he not dunking as much and doing all that stuff. So, but yeah, man, we can keep Derrick Rose like for like the mentor aspect and have a older veteran and stuff like that. But we need to rebuild from top to bottom, because I think our bench sucks.
Yeah, keep dropping your questions in the chat. I'm gonna get to all of your questions after this, and make sure you guys like the video if you haven't already. So, CA3, man, Dwayne Casey has talked about how this is a rebuild but not a retool. What's your thoughts on
that? Man, I'm kind of like in the middle on this, man, but. But at the end of the day, I think it's time to just because I would want to retool just because I kind of I want to be in the playoffs, but at the same time, man, I don't want to just settle just for just for us to be this average playoff team. I want us to be more than just an average or bottom tier playoff team, man. I want to be more than that, but in order to be that, you have to rebuild, man, because. If you look at the Pistons for the last, decade or so, every time, ever since they haven't been a conference finals team anymore, they've been in this retooling stage, and we haven't gone anywhere with it. We've been a bottom tier playoff team at best, this past decade. So I think it's time for a rebuild at this point. Because this retooling stuff is not working. It's clear it's not working.
Oh yeah, I disagree with all y'all. I don't know what's wrong with y'all, but I'm tired of fucking losing. I want to be a competitive team, and there's a way you can do things the right way. Like I said, look at Indiana. Like, what the hell have they been doing? Don't tell me they've been rebuilding. They've been retooling. They lost Paul George and they retooled. And I feel like we can retool and be competitive. I believe in Sekou. I believe in Luke Kennard. I believe in Svi and Bruce Brown. And if Blake Griffin is healthy, that's a big if. I don't see how it could be a negative to have a team that's competitive at a 7 or 6 seed, get in the playoffs, maybe upset somebody, but get that experience that you're going to need. Because if you have any faith in these young players, if you have any faith in the person that we draft this year, hopefully it's a point guard. If you have any faith in these guys, you're going to want them to get experience. So if they're trying to, it's nothing wrong with having a good roster. There's plenty of teams that aren't in rebuild or retool mode. They just have a solid roster and they're trying to compete. Like Indiana. Denver, before Murray and Jokic really, really got good back when they were younger, they just had a solid team. You know what I'm saying? And they don't really have all of that stuff. Look at the Miami Heat. Were they rebuilding? No. Man, they had a couple bad years. And then they drafted Bam Adebayo. They had Justice Winslow. They had a couple bad years, but Eric Spoelstra kept them competitive. And them young guys got that experience. Eric Spoelstra kept them afloat. And now look at them. All they had to do was add in one free agent and Jimmy Butler to take them over the top. So when I'm looking at the Pistons, you add your point guard, because we talk about the point guard is everything that's missing. It's always the point guard. We missing it. So if you add your point guard and he pans out year one, you deal with that, your young guards on the team. You trade Blake for a better package to get somebody that you're going to bring to the team. So I think it's good to be a competitive team because, your players ain't going to become stars, that Devin Booker way, unless they is as talented as Devin Booker. And it's just really rare. And I need Bruce Brown and these guys to get experience. I think that experience that Luke Kennard got in the playoffs is why he started off this next season so good. So I definitely think that it matters, man, because what's the point of blowing everything up when you don't have to? It's not like we're in a situation where we have to blow everything up. What would be the point? Dwayne Casey's brought here to build something over some years. So, normally win 30 games. But the next year, after you continue to build, after your players continue to get better, you win 38 games. Then you win 45. My point is, only thing you have to do is get rid of Blake's contract or whatever, and you just have our team and you continue to draft well. There's no point to intentionally lose. Be competitive. If you get your ass beat, you get your ass beat. It's next year. Because we watch all these other teams build in the same fashion, and I don't know why we have to be a little bit different. And when you're ready to win championships, you change the coach.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. You cannot compare us to Miami because Miami can get any superstar they want in the league. We don't have that power. They got Jimmy Butler.
What's the last superstar Miami got?
This year they got Jimmy Butler.
What's the last superstar Miami got?
Right now, he's a superstar, Jimmy Butler.
He's not a superstar.
No, he's not a superstar.
He's really good. He's good.
The Miami hasn't got a superstar. The only superstar.
Let me fix.
He's a good all-star.
He's a really all. They can get any player they want in the NBA. Miami Heat.
But have they though? The only player they've gotten is Jimmy Butler in the last 5 years. Who have they got? Nobody.
Yeah, but they have really good pieces and they have good culture.
Right, because they drafted and they built with those pieces. They didn't tank.
Yeah. Exactly.
They just missed the playoffs a couple years, and they kept making the playoffs, and then they added Jimmy Butler onto the team. That's how you do it.
So what I mean is, we don't know how to draft. We don't know even how to really rebuild at all. We cannot compare us to Miami Heat. Miami Heat know how to. They picked up the right players. They have a really nice culture. They have all the stuff to rebuild a successful team. We never had this for a while. We started.
Yeah, but I'm comparing us now. I'm not talking about the past. Right now, we do have a good foundation.
Well, now we have
our young players.
Right now, we need at least a couple of years to build a good team, like a competitive team. Right now,
but you don't have to tank for that. You could just go out and win 35 games. Then the next year, you win 38. And then you have a better team.
Next year is an excellent chance for us to get a top 10 player, and we can rebuild of that player next year. They are really full.
There's no guarantee that player that you think is going to be what you think.
I know, but next year is one of the best drafts. I'm telling you, it's got to be close to the Zion draft, which is a lot of good players in that next year. So
they say things about this draft. What was the 2016 draft? They called it a 2-player draft. If you look at the list now, they got 15 stars from that draft. So we don't know which draft is really going to be good or bad until all of these players play. Because the draft that Luka and Trae Young got drafted in, I thought was a great draft, but now it's just looking like Luka and Trae Young. Nobody else is really that good. I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple players because I always am. So we don't really know. And I'm just saying, if we get Cole Anthony or LaMelo or Killian Hayes and they live up to the hype, why are we dependent on a pick from next year? We got our core. You still have Sekou. My thing is, you don't have to go out and intentionally lose. If you know how to draft, which I do think at least our last pick was solid, and we'll see what they do with this pick. Then you can just build your team. Man, Beach, you was gonna say something.
I was gonna say a couple things. Well, Miami, reason why they've been so consistent, they got one of the top. I think Eric Spoelstra, the top 5 coach in the league.
Yeah, that's true.
And then on top of they've been retooling it in the Pistons. Blake Griffin contract, I think that's holding us back big time. If we get rid of his contract, because we already got rid of Drummond, and we get rid of Blake Griffin contract, it's open season. We can sign somebody that's actually young, up and coming and good that can, take us to the next level, in my opinion. Because the Pistons are already a storied franchise. I'm quite sure somebody will come to Detroit if you give them the right amount of money. So,
yeah, of course we can't get BI, but you get your BIs, your Kelly Oubre's. These aren't guys we can get, but those young players that I'm talking about that can be an all-star, and you just drop them on the team. Your Bradley Beal type players, but those players don't only come up. I agree, but that's the thing. That's why we need we have to be competitive this year. We have to get something from Blake Griffin. I need him to have the best season of his career. And then we'll move you. We might not get much, but we'll get something. And now that he's off the books, we don't have any big contracts, and we'll probably literally, I pray they don't, not get rid of Luke Kennard. We'll literally probably just be playing Luke Kennard, and I don't even know how much they're going to pay him. But besides that, it's no big contracts, and we can just continue to be competitive. And I do believe that Sekou is a building piece for a championship team, man. You just got to get him a point guard that can run with him. Look at Jokic and Murray, man. You just need somebody that can run with these guys. And I think Luke Kennard is an extremely valuable trade piece, and I think he can be an all-star. I think Svi. I think Bruce Brown. These are core pieces, those 5 guys. It's not a lot. Basketball team is 15 teams, players. We got to build more. But those 5 guys, to me, you need to be holding on to those guys and just let them get better on their own.
Okay, I'm going to add one more thing, J-Mo. Remember last year what happened at the start of last season, 2019, at the end of 2019 season? What did the Piston front organization say? They literally said, we're competing. We're going to go for the playoffs. And we have Andre Drummond. We have Reggie Jackson. We have Blake Griffin. We have the big 3. This is what we're going to do. And at the middle of the season, we started crashing with injuries. And at the end of the day, we tried to delay Drummond. We tried to delay Reggie Jackson. That doesn't signal any kind of really smart.
Yeah, but the whole team got hurt, though.
No, J-Mo, let me be honest with you. The organization
Blake Griffin didn't even start the season.
Let me tell you something. The organization doesn't have a clue what they're doing. And I feel like Tom Gores is influencing the organization badly. He could have really traded Andre Drummond from last year, but he ended up trading him for nothing at the bag of chips for the end of last year. That's not appropriate. We need to think smartly about the future. We can't just, we're going to compete this year again. And ended up in the middle of the season, our players crash again. We ended up trading Luke Kennard for nothing, trading up Svi Mykhailiuk for nothing, whatever we want to do, or Blake Griffin for nothing. We got to be smart. I'm saying play a strategy.
But that's what I'm saying. You be smart. You be smart by being competitive this year and trading Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose for the highest payout. That's exactly how you be smart.
Well, what if they don't do it? The Pistons stupid, man.
What do you mean? What if they don't do what?
What if they don't trade D Rose? They've decided to keep D Rose for nothing. I'm keeping D Rose. Tom Gores, I don't want to trade D Rose, and D Rose goes in the end of the offseason for nothing for Chicago Bulls, and we just basically lose the trade value.
But we got D Rose in free agency, didn't we?
What I'm trying to talk about, our front office is good right now on paper, but Tom Gores needs to stop entering into our office and influencing the trades.
Yeah, and I think you and Pistons talk just don't like Tom Gores and y'all making stuff up. Man, that man don't make none of the damn decisions. I'm trying to tell you right now.
We got a drunk owner, man. Come on, bro.
Exactly.
This is Dwayne Casey. I think that I'm just putting it serious, man, because I think our team believe more in themselves than some of the other people do. Dwayne K, I think they can be a competitive team. Luke Kennard has said it. I think we can be competitive. I'm sure Blake Griffin can be competitive. If Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose is on this team, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to be competitive to get these young guys experience. Experience in the playoffs never hurt. It's not a negative making the playoffs, unless you're in a position that the Pistons were a few years ago, where we were trapped with Drummond and we didn't have anybody to dream of a star player. Yes, I know Sekou has improved it to everyone, but he gonna be nice. So you can doubt it. Okay, we'll see next year. Bruce could end up being Marcus Smart. Oh my God, because Marcus Smart is very good. So I'm just looking at it from that perspective, and it's not over. We still got a top 7 pick. We in the lottery. We should be drafting the star player this year. So now you add that star player, and next year we probably, who knows where we end up. But I feel like we can't act like this year needs to matter, man. This year, if we draft that star, that's what's gonna jumpstart us, though. No, you was gonna say something, man, Beast?
Yeah, man. Like I was gonna say that we need to keep these pieces on this team and just add on. Like, get a point guard. I think we should get a point guard. Build with Sekou because I think Sekou gonna be a star. I think so. And honestly, I think the Pistons, if they had a bubble this year, if they was in the bubble, I should say, I think they could have did some damage, but still probably missed the playoffs by like a game or two. But yeah, like I don't know. I just like our young pieces, Bruce Brown, because his hustle and his effort. And he developing his offensive game. He do need to develop that, but he is. I see him from year 1 to year 2 that how he developed his offensive game a little bit. So, yeah, I think the Pistons gonna be all right. I think we could actually make the playoffs next year. To be honest with you, if we stay healthy.
Exactly. Like I'm like, bro, if Blake plays 65 games, why we not making the playoffs? Especially with D Rose.
We gotta play smartly. We have to have our organization do the things right. We cannot afford to lose.
What are they not doing right?
We cannot afford to lose a guy like an all-star player in our team, Andre Drummond, couple of times already.
But see, you dwelling know what they did in the past. We talking about now.
No,
I think everybody knows the Drummond trade was bad, but this is now. We got a new GM. We got Troy Weaver. We had Troy Weaver. Troy Weaver's not trading Drummond for that. I can guarantee you that. So let's live in the now a little bit. Like you want to dwell on what they did back then. We shitted on them for the Drummond trade. It was horrible. But at the point we are now, he's gone, and we got all we got to do now is just do something with Blake, and that comes with him being healthy and playing this season.
If it was
I'm looking at some of the questions he said. Question for the paddock. And make sure you guys like the video. How do you define rebuild and retool? What's the difference?
That's a good question.
Rebuild is literally, I'm trading Blake. I'm trading Luke. Basically, I'm trading every guy but Sekou. To me, that's rebuilding.
That's
rebuilding, man. You rebuild it, you blow it up. What do you mean? You don't keep it around. Like so retooling, like I said, is what Miami did to stay competitive. Retooling is what Indiana has been doing to stay competitive. And Denver did the same thing. It's just Jokic and Murray developed into stars. Like I like 2 or 3 years ago when they were little whelps, that's what they were doing, but they just developed into great players. Bam Adebayo developed into a star player. That's what you got to do. We got Sekou. We got Luke. I'm not the highest on Bruce Brown, but if Bruce Brown gets better every year, he's going to be a star player. So if you just got to develop your guys and don't forcibly lose and just draft well, like we got the 7th overall pick, that point guard should be enough to help us. And we need Blake to play his ass off so we can move him for something good in the middle of the season, whatever. I don't have a problem with that. Because other teams have been able to build. You just need that star player, and you either develop them or you draft them or you add them to the team. Miami did a twofold where they didn't really have a star player. I think they made the playoffs twice and they got bounced, and they didn't have anyone. They drafted Bam Adebayo. Took him 2 years to become a great player. They drafted Tyler Hero. Money in the bank. That boy nice. They got Duncan Robinson, and then they just threw Jimmy Butler on the team. They didn't do no retooling. They didn't wait for rebuilding. Yes, it worked for them, and their organization is better than ours. I'm not measuring that, but I'm saying it's possible to do things like that. And when I'm looking at the Pistons, I don't think all hope is lost to the point where after you get the value for Blake, we don't know how good Sekou and Luke Kennard and Bruce Brown are going to be. Like, what if they're like really freaking good? Then what? And that playoff experience is going to help a lot. I'm telling you. Playoff experience is nothing like that, even if you're getting worked on. But, man, Beast, man, what's your thought? What's the difference between a rebuild and retool to you, man?
Everything you just said. Retooling is basically having players that you already have and adding to it. That's basically what you're doing. Rebuilding is getting rid of everything and start off fresh. Which I think, never mind, I ain't gonna go to them. But yeah.
Hey man, we'll talk about them today. I already know you was going.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a wrap for the Lions, bro. I love my team, but the rest of y'all that still believe in them, I feel bad for y'all. Because I finally woke up. But all right, man. I'm gonna look at some of these questions. Make sure you guys drop the questions. Like I said, we're gonna end a little bit early today.
Just to say one thing about that rebuild, I thought rebuild is like letting the contracts expire and start all over from the beginning. I don't mean to blow it everything.
Rebuilding is tearing up everything, trading away everybody.
No, I don't mean to blow it up. I don't mean.
See, Bravo. This is my thing. I think you feel like we gonna be the Knicks, and I have more confidence.
No,
what I mean,
I don't mean that.
The Knicks have done counseling, retooling, and rebuilding, and they've just been trash. I know if we retool, we're gonna be good. We're the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? And we draft much better. But look, Dolo says who we retooling around, man. You retooling around Sekou and Luke right now. I still believe Luke can be an all-star, man. Y'all just gotta he need that Tyler Hero treatment, man. Tyler Hero been getting the green light since day one. Yes, he's a little bit better than Luke year one, but come on, man. Like Coach Poe got that boy in the fourth quarter dribbling the ball. Like, come on, bro. And I told y'all Luke should have been doing that, and we finally got the chance. But compared to the Suns, isn't that becoming a successful rebuild? The Suns ain't been rebuilding; they just horrible.
No, they've been losing.
Like I don't know what they remind me of the Knicks. I don't know what they've been doing. Let's see. How does it make sense to trade him if he has his best? Blake contract is going to come off the books anyway. How does it make sense to trade him if he has his best season? I don't get it, man. But you want to answer that, man?
I still want to trade. I want to get something for him, man.
Yeah,
I'd rather get anything for him at this point, man. Like I understand his contract about to be off the books and all that, and you can just let him walk. But I still want something for Blake Griffin. I think we can get a decent piece for Blake Griffin. That's just me though.
CA3.
So what's the question again? I need it.
No, he said his contract is coming off the books anyway. How does it make sense to trade him if he has his best season?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Manby said. If his contract is coming out the books soon, we're most likely not gonna re-sign him. So, try to get some value out of him, man. Like, because Blake, Blake's a good player, but he's not gonna be part of our future. So probably not. So it's best that you get some value out of him, especially if he's not gonna be part of your future. And it's not like Blake is LeBron James, where he's gonna put us in a championship. He's gonna make us a championship contender, so you might as well get some value out of him.
Okay, make sure you guys like the video if you haven't already. Drop your questions in the chat. And I think Tony J he has a perfect analogy. And this Bravo, this is what I know you see it on the screen, but this is what I was basically trying to explain to you. I think as long as you have Blake, you need to try to compete, but you only go half in on it, and you try to do it without hurting the future, like the Thunder did this year. You're not gonna tell me. I mean, the Thunder can get rid of CP, but you're not gonna tell me that playoff experience wasn't value for them, and they should have just blown it up because they could have did that, and that's what I mean. Like, we just had Blake. If it work, it don't. If it don't, whatever. We just get that experience for. Trust me, that experience for them young players and like Lou Dort, all that experience he got, that's gonna play dividends for them in the future, man.
Definitely.
Let's see. Looking for some more questions. Let's see. I agree with you, J-Mo. So now we're not trade with the Bulls and get their pick and draft Hayes. I mean, I don't have a problem doing that. So that's just me, though.
I don't know. We can draft Hayes at 7, man. Bulls might pick up someone else. You'll see this.
So, man, Beast, I'm gonna throw this to you, man. Is Bam Adebayo better than AD?
Hell no.
No.
What kind of question is that?
It's a question, bro. I'm telling you, the Bam train is on a different level, right?
Yeah. That's right.
And do you think Bam can shut down AD? Because I saw that earlier too.
No.
You sure?
I mean, I think 80 averages like 30.
101?
80 averages like 30 on Bam, just so y'all know.
This year?
Yes, this year. He dropped 33 on him. He got 33 on him on Monday, and he dropped like 27
Let
on
me
him.
Go look this up, bro.
No, I'm serious, bro.
No, I mean, but was the full team playing?
Yes, everybody was playing.
Okay, let's see. AD out there. We gonna see if he do that in the finals.
Yeah, it was just 30 on Bam, bro.
Okay, 33. What did Bam have? Bam had a Bam game. He had his average. Now everybody was there. Did Tyler Hero play? Yeah. Okay, they worked. Oh no, they only won by 3 though.
No, but in the first game they beat them by like 15, bro.
They only won by 3 though. So
no,
I think
the other game they played this season, they won by like 15.
I think I thought they was going in. They had Myers Leonard starting at center. Oh my god! All right, man. Yeah, and Davis had 26. All right, yeah. Now Davis worked him, man. Yeah, Davis gave him that work. Let's see if he can do it in the playoffs, though. Because Bam 1-on-1, he can defend any player.
Nah, but Bam,
he had a big man at least.
I ain't gonna take that away from him though. Bam's a great defender, but
yeah, no, but no, hell no, he ain't better than AD, bro. Y'all.
He's not better than AD, bro.
Like just like Vincent Tall said, people on crack. AD is better than Bam. I think a lot of people are better than Bam, but they put him on that pedestal, man. It is what it is, but I do think he'll develop. Make sure you guys drop your questions in the chat. I think I saw a few more of them, but I did want to ask, man. We're gonna start with you, man. D. What do you think about the Heat Celtics series? Who do you think gonna win? What do you think about that first game? Oh, it looks like he got kicked out.
Yeah, I get kicked out.
Oh, did you hear the question? What do you think about that first Heat game in that series? Go ahead, Bravo.
Oh, me? I can go. Yes.
No, I guess he had some technical difficulties.
I'm actually happy that the Miami Heat take the game 1 first. You know, I'm really rooting for Miami because I can't stand Danny Ainge stealing all these picks in the world, and he's got all these top players right now, and based on their pick value, and I just want like Danny Ainge to lose. That's all I want right now because I just tired of the Boston Celtics with the Danny Ainge. That's why I don't want him to. Remember, I hate those Boston Celtics so much when the fact that everybody was talking at some point, Andre Drummond is the perfect match for the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics need to trade for Andre Drummond. And the Celtics, what did they do? Nothing. They didn't even give us picks. They didn't even buy Drummond for nothing. I feel so bad about it. Don't tell me, oh, the matching contract. No. Celtics are really like greedy team. They're very much oriented towards the picks. I feel like they need to get a taste of their medicine. I feel like Miami Heat should beat them, hopefully. I'm rooting for them. I think the Miami Heat is going to go up in 7. They're going to beat the Celtics in 7.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you because it's documented, and I'll keep saying it just in case you don't know. The Boston Celtics is the NBA team that I hate the most. They are, I think, number 3 on all sports teams that I hate. I hate their freaking guts. I hate the Boston Celtics, so I always want them to lose. That's why when Kyrie went to the Boston Celtics, it was tragic for me because he's like a top 5 favorite player in me, and he went to that team. So I couldn't root for his success. I didn't root for his failure, but I couldn't root for his success. So, yeah, I want Boston to lose. And guess what? Boston in trouble. They're going to lose. That boy Jimmy Bucket's taking that heart, bruh. And I'm not saying that they saw. I'm not saying they saw. We know Boston is full of dogs, but Jimmy Butler about to take their heart, bro. I'm telling you, dog. He going to take their heart. Him and Bam Adebayo going to take their heart, bro. And Tyler Hero. Boston is in trouble, and they about to lose in 6 games. Watch. Now watching Boston, sweep them or something. Because I've been talking crazy. But I think they're in trouble for real. I really do, because if Kemba Walker has to play well in the series for them to win, and he been choking a lot. So when people was trying to shit on Kyrie because I made the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm like, bro, Kemba Walker played like trash. They could have did that shit with Kyrie. I mean, you think they not beating the Raptors against Kyrie? Bro, they would have got swept. No, come on, bro. If they had Kyrie, they would have still been in the same situation.
I mean, Kemba played like trash last game, but he still showed up when it counted, bro.
They lost.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro.
I know we had that nice shot at the end, but they still lost. But I know, man. I'm just fucking with you. All right, man, Beast, what do you think about that Heat Celtics series, man?
Well, I want the Heat to win for selfish reasons, so you know how much I hate the Boston Celtics.
Right.
So I want the Heat to whoop their ass and destroy them. So and I think Jimmy Butler, I think he gonna kill him. I really do.
I do too.
Like, I don't see nobody on that team that can really defend him, honestly. And
like, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, and when I was like, he's a dog, he gonna take their heart. It's not like Marcus Smart. Ain't nobody gonna take his heart. I'm not talking about him, but I'm talking about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and Kemba Walker. And I'm not saying he's gonna intimidate them or punk them, but Jimmy Butler is a different level of dog, man. It's levels to this dog shit. And when you're a great player and you're a dog, it's just different. That's why Draymond Green is one of the greatest players of this generation, whether you hate it or not. In his prime, yeah, he wasn't a scorer, but he was a great fucking player and he was a dog. You didn't want to do nothing with that man. Ben Wallace, just a dog. And Jimmy is a dog. And I don't think Tatum and Brown is ready for that, man. Like when LeBron went up against him, who's another dog, he just got up into him. And the way that Jimmy be acting, man, and Jimmy did that to the entire Bucks team except for like George Hill and Giannis and Brook Lopez. But everybody else, dog, Jimmy was out there punking him. Of course, he ain't punk Eric Bledsoe. But like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if they ready for that type of energy. Of course, they'll probably win the next game, but I think that Raptors series took a little bit out of them. And Miami is shooting. They not missing that. As long as they keep making threes.
Jimmy Butler, like, he made a smart business decision, in my opinion. Because remember, he was on the Timberwolves. They wanted to get rid of him because, the Timberwolves players soft as hell. Soft, bro.
Right.
Then he went to the Sixers. He was criticizing Ben Simmons a little bit.
And Brett Brown. Brett Brown was soft.
Brett Brown is a garbage coach anyway. And right. So I knew he wasn't gonna sign back with them because he seen the writing on the wall real quick. So yeah, he made a business decision to basically go to a team that he's the main face on and got a lot of good players around the team. A team that's already been, kind of in the playoffs, kind of like, hovering around 5th seed, 6th seed, like the Heat. And he went to a coach that understands defense and understands hard work. So it's just a smart business decision for him. That's why I think Miami, him and Eric Spoelstra, I think they have a good chemistry together. That's
so I heard this the other day, and originally when I heard it at the time, I didn't want it to happen, but I actually thought it was a great idea, man. Look, they need to, if they don't win the chip, I don't think they are, but they need to go. I heard that they wanted to get Westbrook, but they need to go get Westbrook because Miami, that organization, they can rein in players like Jimmy and Russ and to play into a system. Like Russ ain't never played with no coach that he respect, but if Eric Spoelstra tell his ass to shut up, what he gonna do? He ain't gonna say nothing. He gonna sit down and shut up because Eric Spoelstra got rings on his finger. So you ain't saying nothing. And when it's that type of culture, that's what you need. But I'm looking at this question: who's the best team suited to acquire Giannis? Of course, it's the Pistons. It's like no, but no, man, bro. New Orleans. I told y'all people don't like this trade, but to me, I think it's genius. Zion Williamson and Drew Holiday for Giannis. And DiVincenzo, bro. It worked for both teams. They get Zion. I mean, he's a fucking superstar in the making. And then, New Orleans get Giannis. And instead of having Chris Middleton and Eric Bledsoe, now you got Giannis. I mean, now you got Lonzo and Brandon Ingram. And you still got JJ Redick. And you still got some good veterans. But, of course, I don't think they would do that. But if I'm Milwaukee, I'm trying to get the best player possible. And I think Zion, I don't know if he's on the market because it's Zion, but he's the best player available if they can somehow get him. Because I don't think anybody is off the table when we talking about trading Giannis for him. Like, I don't think anybody's off the table. That's Giannis. So, but we'll see. Drop some more of y'all questions, and we'll probably wrap up the show. Question: how would you feel if we traded down and got Kira Lewis and Onyeka Okongwu? Oh, I love that.
I love that.
Go ahead, Bravo.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, of course.
And somebody asked, do I hate Jason Tatum? I don't hate Jason Tatum, but I'm not a fan of Jason Tatum. I think he's overrated, but no, he's going to be a superstar. I'll give him that. He's a very good player. I'm just not a fan. Like, I don't like Boston, so I don't like any of their players.
I guess I could talk about this. I haven't talked about the Heat in Boston series. I guess I'll just talk about it. But from what I gathered from game one, this is gonna be a dogfight series, and I picked the Celtics to win this series of 7 games. But you think I'm gonna cry if the Celtics lose, man? I would love the Celtics lose. That the Celtics lose. It was just my prediction that they would win. I just thought they had a bit more, on the scoring side. So I thought they would win this series, but I hope I'm wrong, and I'm looking. It looks like the Heat can easily win this series. Especially by the way.
Man, I wouldn't be surprised they beat them in 5, but I didn't want to be disrespectful.
The Celtics they just kind of. the Heat are such a tough team. Like they're never out of a game. Like I mean, like the Heat, it looked like the Heat were about to get blown out the water, but the Heat they just kept fighting and they beat the Celtics, man, in the clutch. And when it came down to the clutch, they got the best closer in this series, and that's Jimmy Butler, and he
right. And like I remember we had a debate about this, and when you're talking about the scoring, I was telling you I'm like, bro, Miami can score. It's just a collective effort, and that was a really close game. Jimmy Butler closed it out. Kemba Walker, Jason Tatum got blocked, but like I'm not comparing any team to the 04 Pistons, but to me they got that 04 Pistons type of grit.
They do, man.
And like Miami, you're not gonna beat Miami unless you got a team like the Lakers, man, or Denver. And what I mean by that is those are better teams, better talent. And, Denver can go tit for tat for them. Lakers, do we have to talk about them? So when you got a team like, do you really think Jimmy going to let a young-ass Jason Tatum beat him after he just beat Giannis? Hell no. Because people might disagree with me, but I don't think the Celtics beat the Bucks. I just think Miami was that freaking good. That's personally what I think, because I don't think the Celtics can defend Giannis like the Heat were, but because they had Bam Adebayo. So I just think that's what I think about that. But if we can get Kiera Lewis and Oneka, of course I'm on board. I saw a question.
Yeah.
Let me go to the question. Let's see. Are they Heat underdogs and could win the finals? Yeah, they're definitely underdogs. If they go against Denver, they can win the finals. They not beating the Lakers. I'm sorry. Like, you want me to believe Jimmy Butler beating LeBron? I'm gonna have to see it. Like, for real. Is Dante DiVincenzo a superstar in the making? Hey, he's nice, bro. And he's very good in the clutch.
Oh, don't mention that name no more, bro.
I know, man, Beast. I'm hurt. I know. But he nice, ain't he, though? Even though he destroyed us.
Yeah, he nice.
Hey, bro, I was so hurt when Mo Wagner got headbutted by Giannis. I'm like, damn, my nigga, Mo. Giannis, like, who you talking to, little boy?
Yeah.
Hey, but guess what? My boy Duncan Robinson out here holding it down. So we roll with my man right now. And, we roll with my man. Carl got his boy Gary Harris holding it down. I give him some credit, even though we don't rock with State over here. So, it is what it is. Let me see. I got some more questions, and then we'll wrap it up. Question. If the Pistons were searching for a coach right now while preparing for this retool, which coach on the market would you currently want? Man, Beast.
Coach, I don't know, man. It's not a lot of good coaches out here. I know Mike D'Antoni. He basically quit because he was gonna get fired anyway. So, I don't know. As far as coaches, it's not really that many good coaches, and most of the coaches that gonna come.
If D'Antoni and Doc is fired, Nate McMillan got fired. I mean, it's some people out there though.
I'll take Doc Rivers before I take D'Antoni, because D'Antoni is just a goddamn choker. So
is Doc, but
yeah.
Like, look, I don't want to really, because like them other 3-1 leads, the one with T-Mac against the Pistons. Like, can we really blame Doc for this collapse though? Like, they just play like ass. Like, what Doc supposed to do about that?
Like they had T-Mac in, that's it. Literally.
Right. Like,
who else they had?
Drew Gooden, dog.
Don't, man, get out of here with this one, Drew Gooden.
No, I ain't saying he was nice. I'm just saying that was it. That's what I'm saying. Like, how you gonna blame him for the Clippers loss? Like, or the Clippers loss with Blake, because Blake or CP was hurt, but you can blame him for that loss to Houston though. But and then this series, Kawhi and PG was playing like ass. Lou Will was ass the whole series. Doc River, you can't coach that shit. But that's just the way I feel, man. All right, let's see a couple more questions, man. Oh yeah, Bravo, coach, who would you want?
Out of the coaches right now, or of the all NBA coaches, you mean?
No, if we were to get a new coach right now for the retool, who would you want on the market currently?
If you ask me, maybe right now is Kenny Atkinson as a coach, is a rebuilding coach, is a nice coach. He knows how to coach young players. I like him. I would definitely consider Chauncey Billups. Why not? If he's acting for a coach, looking for coaching candidates, why don't we just consider him? He's a Piston, and he's an expert. I would consider him. Other coaches, I don't. Maybe Mike McMillan. I don't know. I don't like Mike McMillan so much, but But this is the 3-1 in my top of my head right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I still think Dwayne Casey is trash. But all right, let's continue.
Oh, hey man, that's my thing. I ain't a fan of Dwayne Casey, but you know what I think about Dwayne Casey right now, man.
What?
He Jim Caldwell.
Yeah,
exactly. And like, I'm not trying to get rid of him and then end up with Matt Patricia. like I'm not a fan of Dwayne Casey. He's hella average. I don't think he's gonna take us over the hump, but he might have us competitive, and he gonna develop our young guys. So hey, I'm not a big fan, but like he Jim Caldwell, yo. So unless we getting Doc Rivers, unless we getting I'll take Sam Cassell, I'll take that. Unless we get somebody like that, I'm not taking Nate McMillan over Dwayne Casey. If Budenholzer gets fired, I'm definitely taking Budenholzer. But we'll see about that. Okay, yeah. With the Bucks beat the Warriors in 2019 Finals. If Clay gets hurt and KD doesn't play, yeah, that's just how I feel. Rick Carlisle not on the hot seat. My man got Luka. Come on, man. And that's the thing about the Clippers. They the biggest frauds. I already told y'all. The Clippers were supposed to lose to the Mavericks. They lucky KP got hurt and they ejected him because the Mavericks was whooping on them. And they were supposed to lose to the Mavericks and they got lucky. And you came up to another team where you ain't get lucky against. And that's what happened, man. J-Mo, do I think Pat Bev overrated? We talked about that earlier. Overrated as fuck. Not really that good of a defender, man.
Limited offensive player, too.
Yeah, man. He's a solid role player, bro. Just like Kendrick Persick said. He said, and I ain't a fan of him because he's a Boston Celtic, but he said Marcus Smart is what Patrick Beverley think he is. And I agree. So it is what it is, man. But all right, man, we going to do the final thoughts. Y'all can drop some more questions if you want. I'm going to see if I can find any, but then we going to wrap it up, man. Look, man, this is an impromptu show. You know I had to talk about George Paul. All these Clippers fans, where y'all go? Yeah. Where y'all Clippers fans at? It's above the rim. Where y'all Clippers fans at? Because all year y'all was in my chat talking all this smack, and I was telling you, they not doing shit. They got Paul George. I've been saying, baby, when I tell you I've been saying this all year, every time they came to me, I'm like, they got Paul George. I just watched this boy choke and let Russ down. Russ tied the game up. He like, all right, Paul, guard Dang real quick. Dang, pop. Like, what is he supposed to do? Hey, Russ, I'm going to drop 45. Paul, I just need something from you. 4 points. Like, no. Kawhi, even though he choked too. Paul George, I need you to carry me for one game. No, man, I'm getting 10 points over here, man. I can't do it. Like, this dude is the reason. Any team that he's the second option and you don't have a real third guy, they not going to win a championship. It just is what it is, man. Don't ever mention Paul George in the name of these elite tier players. He ain't even better than Jokic. You should be ashamed of yourself, bro.
He's not even a top 10 player, so.
No, and I remember they was calling him a top 10 player. I'm like, he no top 10 fucking player. Like, I'm taking, if it was between him and Russ, I'm taking Russ over Paul George, bro. Like, he's not a top 10 player.
I don't even think he's top 15, to be honest with you.
I
don't like he's not.
Wait, you taking Jason Tatum over him?
Yes.
Ooh, Gordon. Well, you definitely taking Luka over him. That's not even a question, man. Hey, I don't know if I can. Tatum hasn't proven himself though, but he has been to the Eastern Conference.
Neither has Paul George or George Paul. He haven't proven.
No, you're right. You're right. He went to the Eastern Conference Finals as a rookie. Dunked on LeBron. Like, nobody's gonna forget that. Let's see. We got a couple more questions, and I'm gonna get out of here. Do you feel like the Pistons are trying to use a 7 for Lonzo? I don't think they are, but I would love it. But I don't think they are. They ain't that smart.
I wouldn't do that. I just wouldn't.
You tripping, bro? Because you're a Lonzo hater. It's cool.
Nah,
you wouldn't give up the 7th overall pick for Lonzo right now? Oh, you bugging.
I want to build on the future. That
is the future, bro. You gonna see. Do you think Aaron Gordon will be better? No, Aaron Gordon sucks. I'm sorry. I do not like Aaron Gordon. All right, I think that's gonna be it, man. I don't know. I've never been a fan of Aaron Gordon. No, if the Warriors got Kevin Durant, of course they win the finals last year. That's I'm so glad they didn't too, because I didn't need them bandwagon Warrior fans talking. If the NBA had an expansion draft, which city, state do I think should get a team? My team is in Virginia or Kansas City. I don't know, man. Oh man,
Who cares?
right? I don't know, man. I just don't know. Jokic is the best center in the NBA, bro. And all right, this is the last question we're gonna stop on because I think this is interesting.
Okay, Stefan. Yeah.
Is Jokic a superstar? We're gonna start with you, man.
He's not quite a superstar yet, but he's very close, I should say. I think
okay. If they beat the Lakers and he's playing great, is he a superstar?
Yes.
All right. Bravo.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, if he beats the Lakers,
do you think he's a superstar without beating the Lakers though?
You know, he's still young. He's not. How old is he? How old is Jokic?
Nah,
he's like
not. He's
25. He's 25.
He's very, very young. Man.
He's still young, so he is a potential.
He's 25 years old.
I don't know if he's really a superstar, like a major top 5 player in the NBA, but he is close to there. He is in the top 10, like right in the top 10 on the East, on the West, maybe. He's
do y'all think he's the best center in the NBA? Or you got somebody above him?
No, AD is always better. I think
AD is not a center, man.
Well, yeah, he can play as
him and Giannis play the same position. So
yeah, is he the best center in the NBA? I don't know, but Jokic is one of the best playmakers, and he might be in the top 3.
Nah, I don't think any other center is better than him right now. Embiid just hasn't lived up. But all right, man. Make sure you guys like the video on your way out. And I do think Jokic, I think he's like a borderline superstar.
Yeah.
But you know, he's gonna be a superstar. Like if somebody called him that, I'm not gonna argue. The man can do it all. Say whatever you want, man. He's leading the team. And yes, he has Jamal Murray.
You see me up a 1 foot fader and you just shoot the shit. Right. I can't even believe that.
That old man game, dog. Jokic is the type of dude that would have came to the street, you know, when we were sitting on Puritan with a hoop man, be sitting on the west side somewhere. He would have came up. He would have came up like, and we would have looked at him like, what is this white boy doing? You know where you at? Why you on the court, bro? And he would have been cooking us all day, and we would have been looking stupid. That's Jokic.
Yeah. Amazing. Hierarchy.
Would have come there looking all out of shape. It would have just been cooking us with them okie doke moves, man.
You know,
if Jokic had athleticism, he would probably be the best player in the league.
I'll be honest. If you remind me of a player like Jokic in the past, like right now, I can remember Dirk Nowitzki. He is like the new Dirk Nowitzki right now. He's one of the best.
Dirk don't got that kind of vision though. But Jokic is like a top,
he's
7 passer in the league, like.
Yeah, but he's like.
I'm with you though. I'm with you though, man. No, Nuggets did pick him up in the second round. That's why I need the Readers or Trashes to be better. But all right, man. We're gonna wrap it up, Bravo. Final thoughts, bro.
Good show. It was just came out of work, so it was quick and make it like nice and easy. Hopefully, we'll see Man Beast again in the next future, and we'll see you again, guys, on next Saturday on the Above the Rim show.
Yeah, it's gonna be on my channel this week. We're gonna have some fun. I'm sure we'll be talking about the Lakers in the Denver series and some other things. So we'll get to it, man. But Man Beast, man. Final thoughts?
Yeah. First, follow me on Twitter at 3D1ManBeast. So yeah, follow me on Twitter. I be talking wild on there. And shoot, me and J-Mo, we be having debates all the time on Twitter. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. All the time. I had debates with you and that boy Coke, I swear.
That boy was on some other stuff, man. But yeah, no, we have debates daily, including today. It's always fun. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. He definitely has a big YouTube channel, Man Beast More. So you're gonna make sure you want to subscribe to that. Definitely be talking about the Pistons, man, and the Lions when you need a good rant, man. This is my boy, man. So, all right, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Like I said, Clippers are the biggest chokers. I do think. I'm sorry, this is the biggest choke job ever. 2011 by LeBron wasn't worse because LeBron wasn't worse because LeBron was not a champion, let alone a 2-time champion, and he didn't have a 3-1 lead. Say whatever you want to say. Man had a 3-1 lead. You're a champion. You're established. You're that dude. Like, we've never seen a champion ever lose like this besides Kobe. And we already discussed why Kobe did that on purpose, because people wanted him to pass the ball more. So it's just very, very bad look on him and Paul George. And 14 points in the fourth quarter. Jamal Murray outscored 3 of y'all best players. Not a good look. I like that the Pistons are trying to retool. I hope that we are competitive. But shout out to everybody that came through. Shout out to CA3 Man Beast and Bravo. Make sure you guys like the video. And as always, man, no Seiko Naboya slander will be tolerated. No Luke Kennard slander will be tolerated. No Lonzo Ball slander will be tolerated. And even though they got eliminated, no Russell Westbrook slander will be tolerated, because James Harden's a freaking choker, just like Paul George was. Russ deserves blame like everyone else, but my boy Russ holds it down while his teammates be choking. So it is what it is. But it is what it is, bro. But all right, guys, man. Jokic